What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for stopping by today. Well, part 3 of this series of what I pack for competitions, I am actually going to cover the miscellaneous items that I pack. I showed you the knives that I used, what I carry my knives in. I showed you the containers that I use to carry my rubs, my sauces. I showed you my wash bin and the tote that I carry everything in. Now, once I get all that stuff loaded in, the next thing I do is I just start dropping in miscellaneous items. And what I mean by that is items that you're going to need throughout the cook-off. For an example, foil. I take a spritzer, you know, some paper towels, trash bags, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you just a few of the things that I pack. Now, keep in mind, what I pack might be different from what you'll need to pack, but hopefully this just gives you a little idea of some of the things that you might need that maybe you don't realize that you're going to need, or you're not thinking that you might need. So that's what this video is going to be about. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started. All right, guys. So once I load up my bin, my wash station, my toolbox, you know, everything to carry my rubs and salsas in, the next thing that I focus on are my miscellaneous items. And usually I'll make a list of things that I'm going to need. For example, we usually need a fire extinguisher. So I picked this one up. I think it was Home Depot, and it was like 20 something bucks, you know, so I'll get that in there. I always make sure that I have one of those. Another thing that I'll need is some foil. So get my foil loaded up in there. Another miscellaneous item that I'll need is some paper towels. So I make sure I bring at least 2 rows. And then I bring this paper towel holder from the house. I just find this easy to set the, you know, the roll on here and just pull it off as I need it. A lot of times I got one clean hand and one dirty hand. And to be able to, you know, put the roll on there and just rip it off is really helpful. I always bring some cleaner to clean the table off. I'll make sure to load that in there. Again, what I pack might not be what you pack, but hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of just some things that maybe you're not even thinking about, like the table cleaner. Hopefully this video kind of gives you an idea of some of the things that you might need. These are definitely things that I need, that I always make sure to bring with me. Another thing that I always make sure to pack up are 2 different sets of gloves. I'll use these when I'm pulling off the brisket or the ribs, since they're easier to clean. I always make sure I have a pair of these kind of gloves to when I'm handling meat, to make sure I can handle meat safely. So I'll take those, throw them in there. I always bring my pit barrel gloves here. These are great for like removing the grate. Let's say if I'm cooking on my Weber Smoky Mountain and I need to get to the second rack. These are good for that. I don't like to use these for the meat because, you know, it's this cloth material. You don't want that all over your brisket or ribs. So always make sure that I load up 2 different sets of gloves. The next thing that I bring that is extremely helpful, let me show you this here. This here is a single stove top. Let me get this open real quick. You see that here? Let me 1 second. Whoa, whoa, almost dropped the bottle. Almost dropped the bottle. This stovetop here works great. It's a single burner. I use this to warm up my injections and my sauces. I bring a pan and, you know, set it on top. You drop in the gas container here, or the gas can here. Turn the switch and it lights up with no problem. This comes in handy. I got this from Ace Smart, and I think I paid about $24 for this. And the gas canisters, I think, run about, I don't know, $5 maybe. So something like this is really handy. Again, I use it to warm up my sauces, my beans, anything that needs to be warmed up like really quickly comes in handy. So get that in, lock it up. If I can close it up, there you go. And this goes right in my bin as well, right there. So, and then from that point, it's just whatever you think that you're gonna need. Like I'll bring, where's it at? Let me find it real quick. Always make sure to bring a spray bottle. Now this is just a really cheap one. This is like, I think I bought it for 99 cents at my local grocery store. You do not need an expensive one. I've tried the ones that have, you know, like if you're spraying your yard with weeds, where you pump it up and it's got the handle where you can spray. I see some people try that, use that. I've used it myself. I've always come back to this. Just plain 99 cents. And that actually lasts a while. I use them at the house all the time. And it's also something that, you know, if you needed to throw away, you could just throw away. Again, it's less than $1. So I make sure to throw that in there. I bring my grease separator. You got to have a grease separator. I make sure to load that in there. And again, it just comes down. Again, it just comes down to what you think you're going to need for a competition. Some people will bring like a table cover so they keep their table cleaned. I actually have some right over here that I pack up. So I'll make sure to throw that in there. But what I'm going to recommend is that you make a list of everything you think you're going to need. Check it off as you load it up. Again, I'll show you the tablecloth really quickly that I use, and there are a couple other things that I pack up that I'm going to show you that are actually really helpful. So I bring these tablecloths, really cheap. I think for 2 of them, it's like $2. And it just makes cleanup really easy. So I'll throw that in there. One other thing that I take that is really, really helpful are these rocket risers, these table risers. I'll show you what those look like here. What this does is it lifts the table that you're working on, so that way you're not hunched over. It's just 4 of these here. Put one on each leg and it lifts your table up about 1.5 feet. Really, really helpful. I got these on Amazon and I think they ran me about $30, maybe $32. But you could go to Home Depot, buy the PVC pipe. Just make sure it's the right width. I'm not sure what this width is here. Let me see if it says it real quick. No, it doesn't give the width. But, I mean, you could buy regular PVC pipes from Home Depot, Lowe's for a whole lot cheaper. You know, this comes with the rubber bottom to kind of help that table from slipping and sliding. I just thought it was worth the investment since I would use it so much. So, again, I got these on Amazon for, I don't know, it was like $32. So I always make sure that I bring that, load that up. Let's see. And then, you know, I'll get that in here. And then again, it's just a matter of what you think you're going to need. Another thing that I take is, I just take a little drawstring bag here. And this, I usually put all my, let me show you. Like I put my gloves in here. My thermometer, my thermopen will go in here. Just small miscellaneous items that I would use often will go in here. And then I just take this, drop it right in the bag. I mean, in the tote. And then at this point, again, it's just a matter of what I think I'm going to need. But like I mentioned, I highly encourage you, especially if you're just starting out. Keep in mind, this video series is for those that are just kind of getting started in the competition world. Many of you have been asking, like, what are some things that you might need to carry? Now, this isn't for those who compete professionally, you know, on the circuit. This is for those of us that are not on that level yet. But when it comes to the miscellaneous items, I would, and sometimes it varies depending on where I'm cooking or what I'm cooking, because at some competitions, excuse me, I'm only cooking one meat, like brisket or ribs or chicken, not all 3 meats. So sometimes I might not need everything that I normally would need if I was cooking all 3 meats. So I highly recommend you make a checklist of what you're going to need miscellaneous wise, you know, like I said, the foil, the gloves, uh, paper towels, spritzers, things like that. Make a list of those things so that way you do not forget anything. It really sucks to get to a competition only to find out that you forgot something. So I like to make a list personally and just kind of check it off as I go. That's what I would recommend to you. So again, the miscellaneous items are going to be could be different from what I'm using. What you need might be different. So you're going to have to figure out what you need and what works for you. In the next series, or in the next video, that will probably be the last video in this series. And in that video, I'm actually going to talk about what I use to carry my meats into competitions. Many of you have asked, you know, how do I transport my brisket and my ribs, things like that, to competitions. In the next series, I'm going to show you the totes that I use for that. So if you're interested, I hope you guys tune in for the next one. I hope you guys found this a little useful. Again, this is just miscellaneous items, and it could be whatever you're going to need for comp. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take care.